Okay. Hello, everyone.
So, first off, let's tell me about yourself.
Well, my name is Lynnesha Crump. I am a soprano, a full lyric soprano. I am. I was born and raised in Washington, D.C.
I live
And
in D.C.
yes, D.C.
Yes.
And I went to Duke Ellington School of the Arts, where I was introduced to opera and classical music. And from then I went on to study at Oberlin Conservatory of Music, and I took a year off, and I got my master's at Mannes School of Music in New York. And ever since, I've been in New York since 2014, 6 years. Wow. And just trying to make it, just trying to start a career for myself. So that's where I'm at. I'm fun. I'm a diva.
Naturally beautiful. You can.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, I have some goals,
That's awesome. So were you always singing, or did you discover singing later in your life?
I was always singing. My mom actually tells me all the time, like, I remember I brought you home from the hospital and you were bobbing your head to the music, and she couldn't believe it. And she said I used to hum when I ate. And I think the discovery for myself when I knew is like when I literally heard, felt, and understood the music, Yeah. At that moment where I was able to hear something and sing it back and like it, I knew that it was for me. I found my voice, and from there I just kept going. The living room concerts we all had to do,
yes, girl.
And just kind of pursuing it and really, going all the way through with music and singing.
So how old were you?
Sorry?
How old were you when you discovered, when you found your voice?
Oh, wow. That's actually a hard question. I don't know exact age that I knew for sure, but I know that I was young. I know that I had to be at least in daycare because, we have those rhymes, and I love to sing the rhymes or anything involving music. The days of the week, the months of the year, I would be singing it. I remember I had to learn how to spell my name. That was a song.
Wow.
So I would say definitely in my early years.
Awesome. So those early songs is educational songs.
Right. And just kind of singing and being so pressed to sing it.
Right. Oh, girl, we have the same story. I started singing Let's Talk About Sex, Baby, to my mama. And because that's what my babysitter would listen to, that type of music. So I was like, whatever.
Right. It was just, it's on. Yes.
So, I mean, you love music, you just love it. And that's just
it makes you feel good. That's something.
Right.
It's a happiness for me, definitely.
So were you a church singer, or did you have religious events that you sung at or stuff like
that? Not too much church, but definitely church. Mm-hmm. A lot of it was school, believe it or not. Mm-hmm. But even even in my school singing, we were singing gospel and you know what I mean? How excellent, all these great songs and choir settings mostly. So I think that's what really got me in the ball, you know what I mean? Of singing gospel. And then of course there was R&B, back then it was the Maya, the Shanti, the Destiny's Child, all the Leah, you know what I mean? That was what I was listening to and wanted to be, those are some of the artists that were really inspiring me then.
Yeah, we used to have our little singing groups in the playground. We used to be singing in Vogue.
Yes. Trying to get harmony right.
The most. It's supposed to be recess.
Yes. I love it.
So you started off singing in school mostly. Is that kind of where you got started with opera and classical singing?
Yes. So it wasn't until junior high school that I knew that I had a classical voice, right? Of course we heard it on PBS and everything. And I remember just saying Yvonne or Robert, those same intervals. Everybody's do my name, right?
Right.
So whatever your name was, I was love that, whatever It's like,
right.
Right? And it became this huge thing. Like, everybody's like, do my name. And I was like, oh my God, this is fun. You know, I'm being celebrated. This is like, we like having fun in class right now. Even the teacher was like in it. And that was the moment that I knew that I could sing opera. So once I got to Duke Ellington, I thought I would be singing like R&B, you know, more gospel and like maybe some show tunes, you know, show choir. But I never really thought that I would be like really singing classical music. So when I was introduced to the 24 Italian Art Songbook, My Harry T. Burley, and Our German Lieder, those were our 3 requirements. And from there, I just like got the ball rolling. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. You know, it's with piano and I got to learn music and what rests are and note values, you know. I was really introduced to it and I started to learn more about it. And once I learned more, it was like easy to kind of go with, you know what I mean?
Right. That's awesome. I love how you like love the theory part of it too. It's like not
yes, I mean, about to look, this music is hard. I should just do it.
I feel like like so many people so many of the great singers come from Duke Ellington. Like there's no good that can't go to this.
Yes.
So that's awesome. So you just kind of fell in love with the art form, and then what like makes opera like special to you?
What makes opera? I mean, it's such a unique art form, you know, and there are so many components that make up the art, right? Mm-hmm. And literally, like, you have to translate, you have to coach, you have to do character study, you have to have lessons and stagings, like, and that's just your part, you know what I mean? That's just your part.
Right.
Like, it's so much, and it's really fascinating when it all comes together. And I think that's what makes it so special, all the work that comes into it. And once it clicks, you know what I mean? And it becomes like magical. And now you're confident, you know what you're doing, you know what you're singing about, you're doing your part, because again, that's just your part, you know what I mean? So when it all comes together, it really is it's a magical experience.
Right. It really
That's
is.
what makes it special to me. Like all the things that are put into it, even the music, how like the harmonic structure can, you know, reflect what you're saying. Like, you know what I mean? I remember there was this piece and the word was cold, but it was like a flat and it was like dissonant in the music. But it really showed cold, and then you could play with it's just so many things that make it so special, you know?
Right. Yeah. Like that Easter Sunday, I did church or whatever, like a Zoom church or whatever. And I was thinking his name's so sweet, and I was like, oh. And then I was like, it just came to my mind, like, right. And then I was like, you're riding away. Once you get it, it's like, dang, that's just
yes. Once you got it, it's just it's a magical experience. It really is fascinating. Like, it's a wonderful work of art.
And it's just so like, it's just, I like you said, like the discipline and determination and stuff like that going to it. It's like conquering something. It's like
and like you did the art justice. You know what I mean? And I think that's what a lot of us, you know, that's the goal, to make sure we do the art justice, to make sure we did our part. You know what I mean? Like. Fulfilled, you know, your purpose is fulfilled, like, and I think that's the greatest feeling, you know, all of your hard work being like brought to the forefront and like, you know, celebrated, you know.
I love that. I love how you describe that. Like, it's like singing is fulfilling your purpose. Like, you need to put that.
Yes, girl.
Because every time you sing, you like fulfilling your purpose. I felt that.
Yes, girl.
So, what other type of music do you sing?
Gospel, R&B, jazz, pop, mostly, you know, not as much as opera. Right. Not as much as opera.
Right.
Now it becomes like a side thing, you know, but I love it just as much.
So I was talking to Nifa, who runs Saucy Vocals, and she's doing an opera challenge. We're doing an opera challenge together, and it's called the Saucy Opera Challenge. So can relate to that. And people are going to just be, a lot of new singers are going to be introduced to the art form. And I just want to know, what do you think makes singing opera different from singing other styles of music?
Okay. So I think opera, okay, and other styles of music, okay, let's talk about the freeness, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a freeness, I think, in other genres. People can speak, there's audience interaction, you know, you can be celebrated during your music, you can bring people in, you can maybe choose to start over, you know, in the band, like, you know what, run that back. Like, you're having a good time, you're in your zone, there's a freeness, right?
Right.
And I think when it comes to opera or full production, I'll say, because, you know, musical theater is kind of the same too. Full production, right? I think that freeness you have to find within it. You know what I mean? Sure. It's like I can be free in this, but when I'm doing opera, I have to be free within this because everything is already given to me. Like, we all sing the same stuff, right? How can you be different? How will you you know, relay this message, this story, you know, so you have to find a freeness within the music, within the opera, you know, and make it your own. So I think that's like a big difference that I've noticed for me, at least.
Yeah, and I think that's what I like about art songs. It's like everybody can sing Cara Romeo Ben, but it's like everybody interprets it differently. They're going to perform it differently. They have different, you know, clocks or whatever. So that's going to make it sound different. Right. And I just love that you, like what you said, like finding the freedom within what is already given to you, because you do have on the page, because it's not just you. It's kind of like
and even like you might have some ornaments and you're like, oh, that sounds good, but it's not really in the style. You know what I mean? So it really is kind of finding that. You know what I mean? And it's nice to explore. You know what I mean? Exploring. I mean, I've learned so much by exploring, just like trying stuff, no matter, I'm going to sound bad, whatever, you know, just exploring, let's say colors, everything, like chest, oh, that was too much. Just exploring kind of really, you know, you really have to explore in opera and work, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot.
It is. It's a lot of work. And I know one of the suggestions that somebody gave was like, I was just asking, like, what advice would you give to a new opera singer? And they were just like, practice every day. And you really have to get in tune with your voice. Like, you really have to dedicate that time to knowing what your voice. And Layla Hathaway said that the glamorous part is like recording and performing, but the hard work is when you're trying to find out what your voice is and what you want to give to the pieces.
Right. And how you want to sing it, you know? And I was talking to a friend, and I remember they saying, we say spend all this time, you know, and we sing for like 30 minutes or 5 minutes and it's over. You know what I mean? It really is about the work that goes into it. Like, so, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this challenge to see, like, what people are going to bring to the table. And we're going to discover the next Leontine Price that's just has never been singing opera before. That's what I love. I love to hear people singing, period. And then I love to try different stuff. So I'm really interested in, like, more experienced opera singers like you and other people who follow the page, and just, like, you know, showing off what it means to be an opera to people who don't have any experience with opera. And showing how beautiful it is and how much work it takes and stuff like that. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I mean, I would say, like, for a new opera singer, I would say to study. I think study is first, you know, because you have to know, like, you can just listen to a song like, okay, yeah, I want to practice. But it's so much more than just practicing song. There's history, there's poetry, you know what I mean? Do you really understand what you're saying? You know what I mean? So there's so many things. Listening is so important. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
You have to listen. I listen all the time. You have to listen. Listening even to yourself. Try to record everything that you sing. Hear the spots where you know you can be better, you know, and definitely practice. You know, I will put that study, listen, and practice. That will be the order I have for new singers. And just keep working. It will come. It's going to come. It will all come together. Oh, sorry, am I? Okay, there I am.
Yeah, I think that's what, when I was a younger singer, that's what I just didn't get, like, the idea that it's going to come, because I'm going to change, my voice is going to change, I'm going to get older and stuff like that. And I was
Right.
so impatient with my voice.
Yeah, you have to be patient.
You just really got to.
I still get impatient. You know what I mean? And I think that's the beauty of it. It never ends. You can never stop learning.
Right.
You can never stop learning. Like, you know what I mean? Right. And I think that's so magnificent that you can just go further. You know what I mean? Like, you can go so far. There's no limit to how far you can go. You know what I mean? Especially if you want to be the best you can be.
Right.
You just got to go, you know, you just got to go and do it, you know?
I love that, limitless.
Yeah. Thanks, girl.
Okay. So do you have like any like technical advice, I guess, that makes the sound different? I know when I'm doing jazz and I'm doing opera, I know I'm doing different things. Mm-hmm. But I just don't know how to articulate that. Do you like have words?
So in that singing, there is one word that comes to mind: connection.
Okay.
So much of it is about connecting everything. Every note that you sing has to have strength, power, support, and clarity. You know what I mean? Every note. You know, sometimes we might have a note that's up here and we have a little note that we have to jump down and come back up. We can't forget about that note that was down there.
Right.
Because that note becomes inaudible and then it's like, what? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the challenge is connecting that top to that bottom and back up. Right. How clean can you do it? Especially in opera. It really is like a delicate singing, you know what I mean? A clean clarity, like the spin of a soprano. You know, just having to keep going and connecting that, because you can sing something and the note might not sound bad, but we can hear, well, I can hear sometimes in my own voice that note came out of the line and it wasn't connected. Right. You know what I mean? So I would say a lot of it is connecting, staying tall, breathing, supporting. It's so funny because I'm saying this and like I need to do it too.
Girl, no, y'all. I'm just like,
it's like, you know, it never ends. Again, we're always learning. I'm probably going to be learning forever.
Right.
But it's all of that, like staying tall and like you know how they say brava? Like it really is about being brave and courageous. Mm-hmm. You know, we might have that moment where like here comes the high note. You know what I mean? But it's just give it, you know, and own it and be confident, you know, and know what you're singing about. All those things contribute to like great singing, I think. And and really getting the message out, you know what I mean? And feeling helps your technique too. Mm-hmm. Feeling helps your technique when you don't even know. Like sometimes my first vocal teacher told me, singing is what you do without thinking about what you're doing. Without thinking about what you're doing. Shout out to Sam Bonds. Duke Ellington, woo woo. But it's so much of that. The feeling will help you, your technique. It really will. Like, so really feel your music and really get that story out there. You know what I mean? Make your audience feel. That's what art's about, you know?
I love that. So you need to be out here motivational speaking to the people.
I know.
You get your college tour on back when we get back.
Okay, look, I got something under my belt left.
Right. You've given me so many gems. Like I just love like how you break things down. I love your interpretation of singing, and I think that passion and that love is just what people really need to see. That people love opera. Black women love opera, and we sing.
Yes. Opera, you know? Yes, okay. I want everybody to love opera.
Right.
In fact, that's one of my goals as an opera singer, to just bring more people to opera. You know, consistently, I'm always teaching people about opera, or I'm the first person they know that sings opera. Yes. And it brings me joy because I'm that person for them.
Right.
You know what I mean? That brought them over. Right. So that's like something I want to continue to keep bringing people over, you know.
I love that.
Keep bringing them over. Yeah.
So I have one last question for you. I guess I have two last questions. What's next for you as a singer? Like, how are you managing yourself in this quarantine? And definitely, if you could write an opera, what would it be?
Well, if I could write an opera, ooh, Okay, hold on. So the first question, let's go back to the first. What's next and how am I handling it in quarantine? Well, I'm supposed to be doing a virtual opera workshop with Yale. It's a new work called Salt. So that's next for me. I'm trying to figure out how that's going to go right now because it's some difficult music and I have little resources right now, but I'm gonna make it through. And the quarantine it has been a little difficult, but you know, there are days that I'm more inspired than others, and those days I really appreciate because it gets me to work and sing and practice my craft right now. So that's pretty much how I'm handling it. I'm introducing 3 new arias to my package, so that's something exciting.
Yeah.
So, you know, at this moment, it's just about practicing and like when it's time to get back, like being ready, you know?
Yes.
Success is about being prepared.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to be prepared, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think that's the best way to spend your time, honestly. Because the time
Yes.
When it's time to get out there, you need to know that.
I know when it's time to get out there, there's no excuse.
Right. I told my voice teacher.
You had all these moms.
All this time. I told my voice teacher, I said, if I don't know something, just go ahead and fuss because it's no excuse at this point.
Yes.
There ain't no excuse. I got time to research. I got time to look at 500 different people sing the same song. I just got too much time.
Right. What was your second question?
If you could write an opera, what would it be?
Oh, if I could write an opera, what would it be? I feel like I would want it to be like everyday things with millennials.
Ooh, okay.
So like, I don't know. Maybe I would make it about an opera singer dealing with love. Because that's a thing, girl. You know, we traveling, and it can be difficult.
Right.
You know, usually operas are about love, you know.
Right.
Maybe it could be like something like about an opera singer, like going through troubles back home with family and having to choose between family and love, and then her work. I don't know. Maybe I would do something like that.
Ooh,
that sounds juicy, right? That sounds like a little tea, right?
Yeah, girl.
Yes.
I know what to talk about though.
Yeah, and just kind of dig deeper in that, you know.
Right. That sounds really cool.
Right? I just thought of that.
Maybe a composer.
I know. Let me hit up my composers because I'm definitely not one.
All right, librettist. Okay.
Right. Like, put this note. Yep.
Right. That's how I sound right here. That's how I sound right here.
Right. I can hear. Look, I can give you what I need.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate talking with you. It was so fun. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you. And thank you for all you do. And thank you for Black Women in Opera. We love you.
Thank you. I love you, love you, love you. Thank you.
And thank you for having me on the BWIO show. Yay! Thank you, everybody, for watching.